Versys-X 300 and the new KLE500. They're both from Kawasaki. They're both sub 500cc ADV bikes, and I own both of them. And today we're going to compare the differences and the similarities between the two. Hey guys, I'm Alan. You're watching The Fireman Rides. All right, so like I said, so we are in literally week 2 of ownership of our new 2026 KLE500, and I thought it'd be a great opportunity to really kind of put these two bikes together. This one's actually getting ready to move on to a new owner, and I didn't want to miss the opportunity to put them together and to kind of look at them side by side and to see, you know, and you would really think that this is going to be the replacement for this bike here, that really now with this one, there's really not a need for the X300. But again, so we wanted to compare the similarities and the differences in the two bikes. So if you see anything that you like, comment, subscribe. Let's get started. All right, so let's start with the powertrains, and that's kind of the biggest thing that the two bikes really kind of have in common. The Versys-X 300, it uses the 291cc Ninja 300 motor that comes from the Ninja 300 platform, and it's used it for absolutely years. It's a really good motor. It is a very kind of high-strung motor, real short stroke, which means the thing revs to the absolute moon. This bike is putting out 38, 39 horsepower, but at around 11,500 RPM, right near its absolute red line. The horsepower numbers that it puts down are actually really good numbers compared to the other bikes that were kind of in the category at the time and made really good horsepower. Torque numbers, not so much. It only made about 19 foot-pounds of torque, which is really hardly anything at all, which really means this engine, you really have to, and the gearing is short too, which means you really have to kind of rev this engine to get anything from it. And subsequently on the interstate, you're turning 8,000 to 9,000 RPM doing 70, 75 miles an hour. The engine's perfectly fine doing that. It's just one of those things where it's just, you have to get comfortable with the fact that, hey, you're gonna be turning 9,000 RPM going down the interstate, and the thing is absolutely screaming. So that's our Versys-X 300. The KLE500, not quite a 500, it's actually the 451cc parallel twin, again, both 180-degree cranks, that is used now currently in the Ninja 500 and used in so a couple other platforms as well that's using the same motor. Again, it's a 451cc, basically the newer updated version of this motor right here. Again, still short stroke, real high revving, and makes really good power numbers for the size of the motor. So now you're looking at between 47 and 48 horsepower out of this parallel twin, but that power comes in around 9,000 RPM, so it comes in significantly lower than what the power comes in on the X300. And again, the old saying is there's no replacement for displacement, and that's true when it comes to this one right here. So again, this KLE500 with this 451cc, it's putting out between 47 and 50 horsepower. Really just kind of depends on who you talk to and what day and what dyno and everything else. And it's putting out a real healthy torque number. It's putting down 33 foot-pounds of torque, and it's making all those numbers lower in the RPM range than what this the 296cc motor in this bike here was. And again, the numbers keep going up, but so does the category. You know, when KTM came out with the 390, the new 390 motor, it's making 45, 46 horsepower. The Ibex is making about the same. All of these bikes in this category, this A2 category, they're all going to make roughly the same horsepower because of the A2 license restrictions in other countries. And really what that is that has to do with the amount of horsepower versus the weight. So kind of the power to weight ratio. So that really kind of controls where the power levels have to be on the bikes. But again, this motor here, I've already taken it off-road. It's got really good fueling. If you go back and look at my off-road video that I did with this and the Ibex and the Himalayan, the fueling, I was actually very impressed with the fueling. And even though they're both engines that rev to 12,000 RPM, it's amazing how good they do down low at 2,000, 3,000 RPM. The fueling is absolutely spot on with both motors, and it's one of those where it didn't have a single flame out. It was hard to even try to induce a flame out with either one of these two engines here. They're both paired with 6-speed transmissions, and it's one of those that you need all 6 gears with how the gearing is set up on both these bikes. This one, like I said, revs to the absolute moon. This one does rev a little bit lower. It will rev all the way up to 12,000 RPM redline, but it doesn't have to stay there. And the gearing is spaced out a lot better. But again, you also have a lot more torque than what you do on this bike here. If you look at the bikes physically, they both look very similar, and you can tell kind of the design language is very similar on both the bikes. The wheelbase on the KLE is about 2 inches longer than what it is on the Versys-X 300. What that's going to do is that's going to give you some more stability on the highway. This bike wasn't bad, and you know, it's a really good commuter bike, and actually I think the guy that's going to be buying it, he's going to be using it for commuting, and he's going to get 50, 60, 70 miles per gallon, and it'd be nice and stable on the interstate. But having a couple inches more, what that does is that kind of opens up and makes the rider triangle a little more relaxed, whereas this one's, you know, a little bit cramped, and it's going to make the stability a little bit better on the bike. All right, so let's hop on the bikes and let's look at the actual ergonomics of riding both these motorcycles here. So we'll start off on the X300. Again, the seating position is very comfortable. It's a 31.8 inch, excuse me, it's a 31 inch seat height. It's a nice low seat height. I can get my feet down very, very easily, easy to flat foot both. The handlebar positions is good. It's got a nice rise to it. The standing ergonomics, they're not great. The seat is probably one of my biggest complaints with this bike here, is that how it's sloped down, and I'll show you that here. How the seat is sloped down right here, it really kind of locks you into a single position where you can't really move around, and it does have a little bit of slope to it, which kind of puts some pressure on your nether regions there. There are some other Seat Concepts makes a seat, and they make a cover kit that you can replace that, and actually makes a nice one piece all the way across, and I would highly recommend that. To give you more room, it not only does it raise you up and makes that seat height a little, you know, that leg, that distance from your knee to your hip a little less cramped, but it also it makes that bench seat kind of a little bit flatter and gives you some ability to kind of move around onto the seat. All right, so let's look at the ergonomics of the KLE500. And again, having a couple more inches of length of the bike really kind of opens up this cockpit. You can see that it sits a lot further back, and I'm not nearly as close. On the Versys, you feel like you're kind of close in like this, whereas on this bike, I'm a little further away, and that rider triangle is a little bit more relaxed. Seat height is about 1.5 inches higher than what it is on the Versys-X 300, and that really kind of helps to, and now flat footing, I can barely flat foot the bike, or almost flat foot the bike with both feet at the same time. But again, that kind of loosens up that angle from my knee to my hip, and makes that rider triangle a lot more comfortable. As far as off-road riding ergonomics, the KLE is great. Like I said, we had it off-road this past weekend, and I was actually really surprised at how well it actually did off-road. And the biggest thing I was concerned about was the ground clearance. Ground clearance is the single biggest issue on this X300. And then when you look at it on paper, the KLE500 only has 0.2 of an inch more ground clearance than what the Versys-X 300 does. And one of the promotional videos that first came out was Chris Northcross, and he was doing a promotional video, and he landed it, and actually the skid plate hit the ground. People were like, "Oh, that's it. This bike is worthless. You know, no one's ever going to want to buy this bike because it's not a serious off-roader." And while I would agree that it's not a serious off-roader, it wasn't as bad as what it looked like there. That was probably just the absolute worst case scenario for bottoming that suspension out. And I, like I said, took it off-road, and really the ground clearance really wasn't an issue. It was one spot where I hit. And you can reference back that video just a couple videos back on the KLE and see that, like I said, I even actually stopped. I stopped on the trail, went back to where I hit the bottom, and actually it kind of examined where I hit to kind of see what it was. And it was a pretty steep drop off, and it had a root that kind of stuck up. So I hit, not only to hit the drop off, but I hit the root at the same time, and it hit just in the absolute perfect spot. Better line, and it wouldn't have touched it all. As far as suspension goes, we have some nice upside down forks on the KLE, as well as a mono shock with the linkage on the rear. On the on the X300, we have traditional kind of skinny right side up forks with the single shock in the rear, again with that linkage. Now again, going back to the ground clearance, on the Versys, and I even pointed this out in the first look video, is that the linkage of the Versys here, and we'll get down here in a little bit, and I'll kind of show you that linkage. It sits down, the linkage sits lower than what the rest of the bike does. So this is your low point here, not the actual skid plate here. It sits a little lower than that right there, which again, there's where your ground clearance is. You're gonna hit the lowest point there. Whereas on the KLE, they redesigned that where that linkage is up higher than what the skid plate is. So again, it's kind of recessed up a little bit in there to not make that the low point of the bike. As far as on-road riding, both bikes are really comfortable to ride. The windscreen, the wind protection on both bikes is actually really good. It is adjustable on the KLE with some bolts here on the side, whereas it's fixed on the Versys-X 300. There are a ton of windscreen options for this, and you can change out this windscreen in less than 30 seconds here. Same thing here, 4 bolts here. It is recessed back in a little bit, and like I said, you have 4 bolts that you can change that height and that angle of the windscreen on this one. And this one does have a little bit of a laminar lip to it to kind of help direct that airflow up and kind of away a little bit. All right, so let's take a look at the bikes up close, and we'll kind of look at each one and kind of see that, again, look at those similarities and then look at those differences as well. Let's start with the wheels. Kawasaki, the one thing they did not give us on the X300 was a proper set of off-road wheels. We've got a 19-inch in the front and we've got a 17-inch in the rear. And again, I was still able to get a good set of tires with that. Like I said, we went with the Motoz Tractionators on the front and on the rear here. And like I said, it's a really good tire. But what Kawasaki did do with the 500 is that they finally gave us a proper 21-inch front wheel. And if you want to ever know the difference, there's right there. You can see the difference between that 19 and that 21-inch. And it's a significant difference. And when you're riding off-road, it really helps having that additional wheel height to be able to clear obstacles and everything else. Both bikes, as you can see, they both still have a single rotor, kind of a wave rotor design on the X300, whereas just a solid kind of rotor on the KLE. I actually kind of like the rotor a little bit better on the 300 there. You see the 300, we've got it kind of decked out with all the T-Rex Racing crash protection here, and you see we use this one here. So we got the T-Rex Racing crash guards, we got the T-Rex Racing bash plate on there, and then I've got T-Rex Racing hand guards. I just hadn't even put them on yet. Whereas the KLE, it comes standard, the SE model comes standard with the hand guards here, and it comes standard with this skid plate right here. Now you can see kind of the overall design language of both bikes is still pretty similar, where it has kind of that still kind of almost like a sport bike type-esque swoop to the front there, and a little bit more off-road oriented here on the KLE. Both bikes have really good fairings. They're nice, well, they're a little thin. This one actually has an inner liner to it, whereas the KLE is just kind of bare inside there. So really not a lot to the fairings. Wind protection, again, you can see the difference in the height of the windscreens on those two bikes there. And then the KLE, they give us these additional little fairings here on the side to kind of redirect the air coming off the side. How much that works, I don't know, but it's there. I have already noticed that it's going to start trapping dirt and kind of grime and dust and everything back in behind there. So pulling this off to clean behind there is going to be a regular occurrence. So I turned the X300 around to show both sides and to show, even with the design of the exhaust, if you look at this one here and see kind of the design of that exhaust, and you come over here to the KLE500, you can tell they didn't really change much as far as that goes. And like I said, that exhaust is the same one that's on the Ninja 300 over here, on this side here, and that's the exact same exhaust that's on the Ninja 500 over here. So whereas they changed a lot of things, they kind of left a lot of things the same. And we're going to crank both bikes up and listen to them as well. But you can see on the seat, like I said, you see on the seat of the X300 here, you can see how severe that slope is on that seat. And let's get down low and let's look at it. You can really see how severe that slope is there. So when you sit, you're locked in. You can't move from this spot right here. And that is one of the most uncomfortable stock seats I have ever experienced. Again, if you get this bike here, Seat Concepts, flat seat, plank seat, and I'll try to put a picture in here to show actually how different the seat is from Seat Concepts than the stock seat. Now, over here on the KLE, you can see that it still has a little bit of a slope to it, but it's not nearly as severe as it is on the X300. And again, it's not enough where it's shallow enough where you can still kind of scoot back and you can sit on the passenger seat a little bit if you want to kind of take some pressure off of your butt. I still would probably look for an aftermarket seat, or if they end up selling an ergo seat that's a little bit flatter, just to kind of help raise me up a little bit more there. You can see on the X300 here that, like I said, the frame is completely covered up by the fairings, whereas on the KLE here, they really kind of embraced the look of the frame and really kind of had these cutouts in the bodywork to really kind of show off the frame there. And again, especially on this model here, on the white model, Having the green frame on the white model really kind of stands out, and that's actually one of the things that kind of drew me to this model right here. All right, so let's take a look here at the cockpit of the Versys-X 300, and we'll see how it looks and compares. And actually, if you go back and you look at my my video where I compared the SE and the standard model, this layout is going to look very familiar, and I'll see if I can put a side-by-side of what the KLE, the standard KLE screen looks like. And this actually is very similar, where you have, let's turn the key on here. All right, so let's take a look at the dash here now that we got the bike running. Actually, I left the key on and I killed the battery. That's why the little check engine light's on right there. Again, if you've seen the KLE, the standard KLE, this is going to look really familiar, where you got the LCD, you've got the separate little gear indicator right there, and then you've got your tachometer over here on the left-hand side. That looks very familiar. They really didn't change too much as far as that goes. And you see, as far as our switch gear, you got our high beam, low beam, you got our hazard switch, you got our horn, you got our turn signals, all pretty standard stuff with this bike here. Now let's rev it up and let's see how it sounds. So you see, it's got a nice, it's a very smooth motor as far as at lower RPMs. And again, the fueling is actually really good for what it is. And again, we're riding off-road with this thing down at 2,000, 3,000 RPM, and it would never even would consider stalling. My 390 Enduro R and even my 300L would stall with the slightest little bit of uphill and not enough fuel, not enough throttle, and it would stall all the time. This thing, I could barely even get it to induce a stall. So again, all right, so let's see how she sounds when you rev her up. My son always loved the sound of the X300 revving up like that. It just, I mean, screaming at those higher RPMs. And what's so fun about it is that you can ride around town at damn 10,000 RPM, and this thing revs up nice and easy, and then it also goes down nice and easy. So it's a really, really fun bike. All right, now let's come over here to the KLE. Again, we're gonna leave the 300 running because I really want to get a kind of comparison. Put this guy in neutral. Get a comparison between the two bikes. It sounds very similar. Again, it's just a bigger version of the same engine. And like I said, let's rev it up a little bit. You even hear that same kind of 4,000 RPM kind of sound to it, but then when you rev it up to that 10,000, it just sounds like a bigger, better version of that bike. I really love that bike over there, but what I didn't like is I just didn't like the lack of torque and the little bit less horsepower and everything else. Now you get the same thing, just in a better package with more power and more oomph to kind of get the bike moving. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up our comparison. Again, like I said, this was not a really hardcore comparison. This was just, let's put both bikes together. Let's see what's similar. Let's see what's different. And again, you would think that this is going to be the replacement for this bike here, but that hasn't officially been announced to my knowledge as of April 15th, tax day 2026. Screw you, government. And, it's one of those where, like I said, they're both really fun bikes. They're both kind of had that same kind of ethos and kind of core of both being sport bike engines. Like, again, the X300, it's a fun bike. It's got a great revvy motor. It's fun to play with. You can race from red light to red light, and the only person who knows you're racing is you. The KLE is just a bigger, more refined version of that same ethos. Again, a lot more power. You can really get in trouble. Actually, only 7 more horsepower, but it feels like a lot more because you got a lot more. You got probably 50% more torque than what the X300 does. And again, it's just having those additional, cubic inches to play with, cubic centimeters in this case, to play with. And it really makes us feel like a lot more of a grown-up bike. Does it sound as good as the 270-degree crank motor that's in the Ibex 450? No. Is the Ibex a better bike? I don't know. I've owned both bikes. Actually, I own all 3 of these bikes, and actually getting ready to sell this one here. And we're going to find out. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do a 3-way comparison there, but this versus the Ibex is really the ones that I really want to see and kind of see how the two bikes compare. But again, like I said, real quick, Versys-X 300, Kawasaki KLE500. Real quick, just want to take a look at them. Thank you, guys. If you see anything that you like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. God bless. Roll Tide. And remember, tomorrow needs you. Thanks, guys.